Boyfriends. Have you ever agreed to something small for your girlfriend, only to realize later that you walked straight into trouble without knowing it? I learned that lesson during what was supposed to be an easy evening at home. My girlfriend Mia and I had settled on the couch after dinner, and while she flipped through channels, something kept nagging at me. We had been together for almost 4 years, yet I had never met a single person from her family. I shifted a bit and asked when I might meet them. Her shoulders tensed at once. She sat up and said I could, but there was something I needed to understand first. I waited, hoping it would not be anything that threatened us. She told me she often exaggerated stories about me to her family. According to her, they only loosen their grip on her when she plays the part of the struggling daughter with a careless boyfriend. The more they pity her, the more money they send. I felt uneasy, but I tried to see it from her angle. She said her parents had always been strict and overbearing, so part of me thought she was only getting back at people who had pushed her around. She asked me to play along when I met them. Nothing wild, just simple things, so her stories held up. Then she held out her pinky and asked me to promise I would not say anything unexpected. I agreed, thinking the whole thing sounded harmless enough. The next weekend, we drove to her parents' place. I walked in expecting cold stares and stiff greetings, but her family was warm and cheerful. Her mother hugged her at the door, her father welcomed me with an easy smile, and her younger brother shouted hello from the kitchen. Everything felt normal, too normal, if I listened to what Mia had told me. Dinner began with gentle questions about my work and how we met. I was starting to relax when Mia cleared her throat. She said I had been having trouble at my job and hinted that we were stretched thin even with both of us working. None of it was true, but I stayed quiet. I remembered what I had promised. Her mother looked concerned. Her father gave me a steady look. They listened, but when Mia drifted toward asking for help, the tone changed. They said they had already sent her plenty that year, and she needed to stand on her own. Her brother mentioned a large amount they had sent only a few weeks earlier. That was the first moment I felt something twist inside me. I covered every cost at home. We were not struggling at all. Before I could sort through that thought, Mia's eyes filled and she began to cry. She said things were harder than she let on. Then she did something that made the room shift in an instant. She said I had been speaking with younger girls online. She claimed she overheard a call I made, and she repeated a few lines from it in a voice that trembled. Her parents stared at me with horror. Her brother pushed back his chair as if he might jump between us. Mia looked down at her lap, as though she could barely stand to repeat the words. I sat very still. I knew exactly what she was talking about, and it had nothing to do with what she implied. That call had been with my younger cousin while we played an online racing game. I was cheering her on, nothing more. Mia knew this, but she twisted it into something ugly to win sympathy and money. I asked if I could show them something. Before she could protest, I pulled out my phone and opened a clip I had saved of the game. My cousin's voice came through, clear as day, laughing and trying to make her cart turn the right way while I encouraged her. The room fell silent. Then I opened a few messages from Mia. Ones where she called her mother spiteful, her father clueless, and her brother a spoiled brat. Ones where she bragged about how easily she could pull money from them if she cried at the right moment. Her family's faces changed with each line. Shock, anger, grief. Her mother covered her mouth. Her father leaned back in his chair as if the air had been knocked out of him. Mia tried to speak, but no one listened. They were done. I stood up, thanked them for dinner, and walked out. By the time I reached my car, the only thought in my head was how far someone would go when they wanted something from the people who loved them most. And that was the last promise I ever made to her.